Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Connor Knowles, and this is the Nerdic Gods MMA show. This time,
That
your
it
post
is.
show for UFC 270. Getting up there now, Sloan. 270, you know?
That's exciting.
When did you
It's
start
exciting.
watching? Like, what was your first pay per view?
Uh, what was my first pay-per-view? Ooh, this is bad. I don't remember.
You
I
remember?
think I started. I think actually I want to say it was a John Jones pay-per-view. Actually, that's what I want to say. It might
Which
have
fight, do you know?
been. I think it might have been the second Anthony Smith fight.
The second,
Maybe.
they only fought the once.
Oh, no, I started Anthony Smith. No,
Anthony
Alexander
Johnson?
Gustafsson.
Oh, no, he did. Oh, Gustafsson. Okay.
Gustafsson,
I was about
I
to
wanna
say.
say.
He didn't fight Johnson either. Gustafsson.
Yeah,
When was that? I think that was UFC 209.
yeah, something like that.
A little while ago. My first pay per view was
Mhm.
UFC 100. Believe it or
No,
not.
there you go.
That was
There
it.
you go.
The Brock Lesnar, the fucking little 11-year-old me got so hyped. I remember seeing that trailer for Brock fighting Mir for the second time.
No,
I was just like, that guy's a real
100%.
fighter, you know?
100%. I mean,
holy shit.
that fight between him and Overeem. I mean, just looking at them, just the fucking,
Oh, I remember that. They had the
just the
coolest poster for that one too,
testosterone
where they
going.
had
I
like
know.
they had like a
Mhm,
whatever to tell their height behind them. It was like
mhm.
6'6" versus whatever the fuck, you know.
Yeah,
It was like,
yeah,
oh
yeah.
god, this
I
guy's
know.
massive. Great
It was
poster.
amazing.
Yeah,
'Cause I've gone back and watched a lot of fights
yeah,
over the years for sure. But yeah, I kind of came into it a little later. Some years ago.
yeah. It's crazy when I think back on it, how long I've been watching UFC. Like I don't, and I like rarely miss a card too, and like
Mhm.
especially pay per view. I don't think I've missed it. Like I've certainly missed pay per views, but I've at least gone back and watched them, you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, crazy,
Definitely.
man. Been a long time now. Anyways, so long. UFC 270 in the books. First pay per view event of the year. What'd you think overall?
Good. Good. It's good. I liked it. It was a good card. It was a fun card.
Yeah, I think the main event was a little. It was at least very interesting, right? I wouldn't say it's the
Mhm.
most exciting fight ever,
Right.
but
Right.
it didn't live up to the whole like, oh, someone's definitely gonna get knocked out as you'd expect with the heavyweight title and Francis Ngannou fighting. But
Mhm.
nonetheless, I thought it
Definitely.
was very entertaining, especially the way it ended
Mhm.
up shaking out.
Yeah. No, definitely. This fight is interesting. There's a lot of the fights on there. I enjoyed the fights, but there's some issues I have with it. There's a couple issues I have with it.
Yeah,
One. I don't think they. I just don't know. I guess, say what you will. I am a guy that, if you've listened to us enough, I love some good fight promotion. I'm into it. I'm not a big WWE guy, but I appreciate that mentality in some of
sure.
these MMA guys.
You like the
And
story, right?
I like the stories,
Yeah, I'm right there
And
with you.
and it kind of kills me with this fight was that there was just none of that. There was really not much promoting. It's funny because I remember watching all the promotion stuff. It was a lot of the coach involved. Like he was the one telling the story. He was like telling Gon and Ngannou's side and like saying what happened, bringing out the footage. It's like who's fighting? Is the coach fighting or is Ngannou and Gon fighting? What are we doing here?
He was definitely trying to take over the
Oh,
limelight.
oh man,
It felt like all of Fight Week. This guy was I forget his name,
Mm,
something.
I forget
Whatever,
his
it
name
doesn't
too.
matter. Yeah, but
But
he was definitely doing every interview
100%.
possible, try to get his name out there, stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that. Yeah,
100%. I mean, and Brandon and Figueiredo. I mean, they pretty much said nothing the whole
yeah,
entire
no.
time.
I like the press conference
Yeah,
because it was like, hey, let's put four guys that can barely speak English on stage, and
yeah,
it was just
yeah.
like,
But
oh, what a
let's just
terrible
get
idea
to
you
it.
guys see.
Let's
I
just
know.
get to it.
This card, I felt like it really needed like a really good third fight, you know, like
Yeah,
how
yeah.
UFC 266 had Nick Diaz, Robbie Lawler. It needed
Uh
something
huh.
like that in that third place to really like put it
100,
above and like
100%.
give it that entertainment value.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. But I mean, like it's still a good fight night. Some great fights. I enjoyed it. It's fun to see, where we are moving forward. But at the same time, these guys they need to promote a little bit more.
I
You know.
think that's on the UFC's end, right? And I mean, we're gonna get into the whole contract
Sure,
negotiations
sure,
going on
sure,
and
sure.
stuff. But
I mean,
I do
I mean,
think
you
they tried to under promote Francis here. I really do. Like it really felt like that.
sure. No, I don't disagree with you there completely. But at the same time, the UFC they only have so much in that budget that they're going to spend to promote you. So,
But
you
this
know,
is your heavyweight champion, and this man looks like a
I,
god, and he knocks out people with
I,
jabs. You know what I mean?
agree.
It's just
I
like,
agree.
you guys should just be throwing
But
money at the fucking wall for this guy, you know?
but he's been getting into it with Uncle Dana. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you can't do that.
Can't piss off Dana, you know?
Can't piss off.
Such
Dana.
a fine line these fighters got to walk to make the most
I
money
know,
possible and not piss off the UFC too much, you know? It's
I
crazy.
don't disagree with Nagano. Like,
No.
you know, like you should, you know, like these champs, they should get paid a little bit more. They could probably, especially now that they're like hiking up the pay-per-view prices.
A lot more, man.
And,
Like,
you know,
I don't.
yeah.
Nagano getting $600K for this fight is just, it's a fucking steal from the UFC, you know?
Yeah.
It's just crazy. Like, champions should be at least getting like 2 mil a fight minimum, I think. You know, if you're a champ, like, you should automatically get that contract that gives you a couple
For
mil
sure.
every fight.
And like I get that, you know, like the UFC, they also have a lot of people to pay. You know, they do fights consistently. They probably, their budget for paying people is probably a little bit higher than some like boxing, some of these other places.
Sure. I do think like MMA fighter, like lower tier MMA guys make more than lower tier boxing guys. That's just what happens, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And I'm pretty sure at least that's what happens. But you know, at the same time, your champs, you know, being the UFC, literally being the biggest MMA promotion, and being on ESPN, I'm sure they make a ton of money selling their NFTs. You know, they have all these things.
They love those NFT
Oh
promotions.
man, they love those NFTs. They were going hard on that yesterday.
Every time the ad pops, I'm like, shut up, fucking shit.
But they could definitely pay their people a little bit more, especially their champs. Like their champs, I see their champs should probably at a minimum be $1 million.
I think
I would have to say
they do end up. The people that are loud enough, they pay enough to shut up. I think they will end up figuring it out with Nagano. You know, I guess we're just getting the whole contract thing, but I do think they will end up figuring it out with Nagano for something. You know, I think they have to.
I mean, I get it. We can't all be Connor, where we're the highest paid athlete in 21. We only had 2 fights that were losses.
Yeah.
You know, I get it. You know, we all want that Conor McGregor money.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's hard to happen.
With Connor, too, it's like he made that himself a lot, too.
Yeah,
you know, with the proper 12 and all the other stuff he does, too. Yeah. And, I mean, that's maybe what a lot more fighters need to look towards is, like, the UFC could be your platform to get your name out there and stuff like that, and then you can go out and make your own things and get money different ways and stuff like that. I think a lot more fighters need to start thinking in that direction. But I mean, that doesn't mean the UFC shouldn't be paying these guys way more than what they're getting.
Yeah, it's kind of both because you're on the biggest platform, so you're on those. You're on the place that has the most eyes, so you can definitely get your name out there easier than other promotions for sure. But you know, at the same time, I think like the UFC, I think the bet like it's like probably not the highest paid promotion, but has the potential to be the highest paid promotion.
Definitely, yeah. I also, you know, UFC puts a lot of money towards other stuff too. You look at stuff like the Performance Institute and how much they try to grow in other countries and stuff too.
I mean, they're trying to build one of those in every country.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and it's like I don't want that stuff to be taken away either. It's not like I don't like if the fighters start getting paid now, we're gonna stop moving the sport forward as much as we are. So it's like it's a give and take, man. It's tough.
Definitely.
Like I don't envy anyone trying to make up these how much is everyone getting paid and where else to put your money and stuff like that. It's just it's hard, but
not everybody has Derek Lewis's mentality. It's just give me a fight, pay me whatever, let's get to it.
Give me a fight every 2 months, we're fine.
Let's hop to it.
Anyway, Sloan, let's get into the card. We are gonna go over the entire card here, starting with the main event. Francis Ngannou defeated Ciryl Gane by unanimous decision. I
gotta say, going into it, I thought Ngannou was gonna win, but the way he won, not the way I thought he was gonna win.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I had Ngannou too. I thought at some point he'd just clip him. You know, I thought like, okay, Cyril's gonna try to evade the whole time, and it's just like at some point, like everyone else, Ngannou's gonna touch you and you're gonna go down. I thought that would happen.
I wasn't too sure if that was what was gonna happen because, I mean, yes, of course, I was hoping he was gonna knock him out. He's knocked out every guy he's fought. Every one he's had has been like a knockout. You know, I think it was what 16 wins, 16 knockouts or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So of course that's like you're expecting him to go in and knock him out. But going into the fight, you know, Gon is just his stand up is one of the best stand ups we've seen out of most of the guys Ngannou's fought.
Definitely. He's probably the best pure striker Ngannou's fought, you know? Yeah.
So, you know, so I wasn't too sure, like, you know, I thought the fight was going to go on kind of longer. If he was going to knock him out, I was thinking more in like the 4th or 5th round towards the end of it when they're getting kind of tired and Ngannou just does that, you know, just big overhand punch, knocks them out because they're
jab out.
Because they're both kind of tired and get knocked out. That's how I was kind of thinking it was going to go. But, you know, for him to kind of go into those later rounds and go in with the wrestling, I was like, oh, okay, here we go. So I would definitely say, you know, Gon won those first 2 rounds.
Definitely, yeah. I thought it was clear. And then I thought that's how the fight was going to go. I thought, okay, this is going to be the fight. Like, Nagano can't catch him. And by the end of the second round, Nagano was already, like, dripping with sweat. Yeah. So I was like, okay, clearly the knee injury's getting to him. Clearly the conditioning's not on par as what it was in Ngannou's previous fights. And it's just like, oof, going to be a long night. And then, Nagano came out that wrestling that 3rd round. Big slam in that 3rd round when he picked up his leg. I know. That was huge. That was the most exciting part of the fight, I thought.
Yeah. No, that was awesome. And it was just like, it was smart on Ngannou, too. Like, I'm glad he did that.
Definitely. I think it's also very interesting to see that Ngannou now has this part of his game figured out, you know?
Well, his wrestling looks so much improved in the Stipe fight. So, you know, going into this fight, you got
too in that fight, you know?
Yeah. And you know, and you got. I was kind of thinking. I was wondering if he was gonna do any wrestling. I didn't really think he was going to.
I didn't at all. I didn't. Didn't even cross my mind. You know.
You know, it was like I didn't. You know, who knows? But it was nice for Ngannou to recognize he's getting pieced up on the feet. Let's try to wrestle. And we found out Gon terrible on the ground.
Definitely.
Terrible on the ground.
It's funny he hasn't gotten matched up with a wrestler leading up to it.
Yeah.
It was like that was the one thing we were missing that none of us even thought of going into this fight, you know? So
well, the whole narrative going into it was like, oh, he hasn't been on the bottom, you know, he's got 0 bottom time. Everybody's like hyping that up. And it's like, well, yeah, it's because, you know, all the guys he's fought are not wrestlers.
I mean, well, look at who he's fought in the UFC. It's all strikers, you know?
Yeah. And even in that heavyweight division, it's like there's not many wrestlers.
No, good point. Yeah, there really isn't. Especially, I mean, there's like your Curtis Blades, your Marcin Tyboras, people like Stipe. Even, I mean, he's not a pure wrestler, but he will take you down, stuff like that. But yeah, it's not just, too bad. It's not like welterweight or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably, in my opinion, it's probably the least wrestling heavy division.
Yeah,
it's mostly striker focused. Like even light heavyweight has a decent amount of like hybrid guys that can do both pretty well.
Yeah, you gotta think it's probably the hardest division to wrestle at too. Like, wrestling takes so much energy that like these big guys probably don't want to fuck around with it too much.
No, definitely. But I mean, it's fun thing in Ngannou is, you know, getting better at wrestling because imagine just how strong he is and then being a good wrestler with that strength.
Definitely.
Like it would probably be one of the hardest things in the world to get from the bottom.
You know how terrifying it's got to be when Ngannou has mounts on you.
Oh my lord! Like it's got to be the worst thing in the world. Like imagine if he just got that amazing ground and pound. Like Derek Lewis, that's one of his best things. Gets the guy on the ground, starts doing that ground and pound, knocks you out.
Yeah.
Imagine that, but with Ngannou. I mean, that would be vicious.
See some brutal knockouts.
Oh man, you'd be worried every time. You already are. You'd be even more worried. You're like, ooh, because he's like a finisher too. Like he knocks you out, he'll go in for the finish and kill.
It's funny because I wonder if Ngannou will ever even have another opportunity to really use it other than fighting Ciryl Gane, you know? Because it's who else is gonna stand with Ngannou like that? You know, you'd have to be as good technically as Ciryl Gane is on the feet to do that.
No, definitely.
And so it just like, I don't know, it's like if Ngannou fights John Jones next, he's not going to wrestle John Jones, you know what I mean? Or Stipe or whoever. He's not going to wrestle those guys. So it's like, I wonder if we'll ever even see it again.
Well, no, he might with Stipe. Like, because he managed to
you think
have
he takes Stipe down?
I think Ngannou just on sheer strength could possibly take anybody down.
John Jones, rounds, you know.
Yeah. Like I can see him doing John Jones just because of how decorated of a wrestler John Jones is.
Sure.
I know John's beaten like some Olympic wrestlers. Like he could have probably been an Olympic wrestler if he had tried hard enough. But like I don't, But just about anybody else in that division, I think Ngannou could just through sheer strength probably take him down.
Yeah, especially in those early rounds, you know.
Yeah,
Definitely. So who do we want to see next for Ngannou? Obviously, a lot of names being thrown out there: John Jones, Stipe. He's got go over to boxing. Tyson Fury's being talked about, stuff like that. So what do we want to see here?
I guess the biggest question is even if he fights again, right? Like maybe they don't figure this out with the UFC, you know, because they're like, yes, you gotta think one thing that's very telling. I mean, Dana didn't put the belt on him.
Mm-hmm. Dana also didn't show up to the press conference.
Did show up to the press conference.
Yep.
I mean, you know, he was not happy about that.
No, he definitely wasn't.
So, you know, I don't know. Who I'd like to. I mean, I think the obvious, choice is John Jones.
Yeah,
because
it's time.
I mean, I think that's the one. And and honestly, if I'm John after watching, this fight, I'm feeling like I can beat both these guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Because
we were just talking about this before the show. Like,
yeah.
John could do what Serial did for the first 2 rounds, and he also could avoid the takedown and then land his own takedowns on Ngannou, you know? And it's like
100%.
The only hiccup I see in that is the strength of Ngannou and the size of Ngannou, you know? Yeah. Maybe that would affect John so much that he wouldn't be able to take him down.
I mean, Ngannou has the body type of a guy John struggles with.
Yeah.
Just that kind of big dude, can hit hard, can kind of just get into it.
Quick, athletic.
Yeah. But, at the end of the day, I think John's just a better fighter.
Yeah, definitely. Technically.
Just
everywhere. He's a bit better.
But I would like to see John get knocked out a little bit, I just to humble the man a little bit, because
we're so far with John Jones that I don't even want to see it. I want to see this man go undefeated, go like 50, or whatever. I mean, he'll never get to that amount of fights, but
it'll be fun. But that's probably the fight that happens.
I hope so too. I hope we can get that done. I know Ngannou's got the knee injury now, so who knows if he needs surgery on that or whatnot. But I feel like John Jones versus Ngannou headlining the big July card sounds perfect to me. You know, like that would 100%. Be great. Yeah,
it'd be fun because I doubt they'll do the rematch with Gon anytime soon.
No, I think honestly with Gon, this reminds me a lot of when Francis lost to Stipe the first time. You know. Like, okay, Gon is very young in his career. He was only 10-0, you know? Barely anyone except Cody Garbrandt gets a title shot at 10-0, you know what I mean?
No, definitely.
So he worked his way up super quick. He's only been in the MMA game for like 4 years now. I mean, and that's why I mean, it's it's a lot like Ngannou. That was the same story with Ngannou going into the first Stipe fight. So I think just give Gon a few more fights. Just let him go fight these other heavyweights. I'm sure he'll even win those. And, eventually down the line, I'd love to see a rematch with Ngannou and Gon, Let Gon go work on his wrestling, get better at that, like Ngannou did, maybe go over to America, train here for a little while. Sure. work at one of these big gyms like ATT or something like that for a while. Then just pick apart some other heavyweights.
I mean, they could... depending on the winner of Derek Lewis and Tai Tuivasa, they probably wouldn't do a third Derek Lewis fight. But if Tai Tuivasa won, I could see them making Tai being the next contender.
Yeah,
just because that fight's gonna be happening soon enough to where I think they could time it, kind of depending on what happens with that fight. That could be a good one for him.
People love that too. I could almost see Gon fighting the winner of that, maybe.
Yeah.
I guess if Lewis won, though, you probably wouldn't want to do that rematch right away. But
no.
I think that Tai won.
I think if Tai wins that fight, they could try to do Tai for that title shot.
Yeah.
Because I think Derek's what, number 3 or something?
Yeah, Derek's 3. It's a big jump. We're gonna talk about this fight a little later, but it's a big jump from because Tai's number 11 and then Derek's number 3, so it's a big jump up for Tai.
And the fun thing about heavyweight is that division is just so weird because dudes are always winning and losing. So you can almost do just about anybody, to be honest.
Yeah, it's heavyweight's actually more interesting right now than it's been in years. You gotta think possible John Jones coming up. Stipe's still looming out there. We got Curtis Blades, who everyone just forgets about, and he's number 4 in that division.
Well, it sucks for Curtis. He's already fought him twice.
Yeah, he's already fought, and then
he got knocked out both times.
Yeah, that does suck. That does suck. You're right. He also lost to Lewis, so it's like Blades is just in a tough spot. I feel bad for Blades because Blades might be better than all these guys. Honestly, he just keeps getting.
Dude, I love Blades. He's awesome. I love that he comes out the Mortal Kombat song. But unfortunately, he just keeps getting knocked out by these big dudes.
Yeah,
and it's not because he's a good fighter, but
he's the best wrestler in the division by far. Know.
These guys just hit so damn hard that it's like
they just get him at some point. I would hope if we do go in the direction of Nagano Jones, then hopefully we can do Stipe Blades.
Yeah,
something like that.
Maybe, but that depends on Stipe. Stipe hasn't said shit.
Stipe's weird.
I think Stipe is just content with waiting till they call him for that rematch.
And he has a right to it, honestly.
Yeah.
Like they're 1-1. Like, I mean, it makes sense. 100%. I don't blame him for sitting out and waiting, but it's just like, man, I'd love to see you fight these other guys.
Oh, definitely. But it's like, I don't know. So the top of that division is kind of weird because, I don't know, they could have him fight Volkov,
Volkov's fighting Tom Aspinall now in the main event of the London card, So, I don't know, maybe winner of that works in there somewhere. Again, all these matchups, they're all fun matchups. That's the good thing, right? Like, heavyweight's in a great, healthy spot right now. Which is nice, because it wasn't a few years ago. Like, when,
I think
2017, 2018, that division wasn't that strong.
We need John to come in, really make this division, like...
Then we go. It'll be hot with John. Like it'll be like one of the top 3 divisions in the market.
Because that is just, as a fan, that is the fight I want to see next. Nagano versus John Jones.
Yeah, that's one of those fights that's like you could argue that's for the greatest of all time. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I guess Nagano wouldn't be quite up there, but Jones certainly.
Yeah. And I would hate to be the one to try to book that fight.
A lot of money.
Because it's gonna be a lot of money. Both those guys are definitely shown to be kind of like annoying to try to work with.
Oh yeah.
when it comes to booking.
That's the unfortunate part of the fan side, is that we do get annoyed with it. It's just we can't help it. It's like I know they need more money and they want to get paid more.
Yeah,
and they have a right to ask for all that. But it is annoying as a fan seeing an article every other day of a fighter asking for more.
I know. At the same time, I was just like, damn it, I love you guys. I want you guys to make all the money in the world. I also want to see you fight.
Right.
I want to see you fight so
That's
bad.
Exactly it.
It's like, it kills me.
At least right now, it seems like Jones is in a good place with the UFC. At least, they've both been talking positively about each other recently. It seems like they're in a good spot with Jones. It's just the Nagano side we have to figure out.
It's just the biggest thing. I mean, are we going to see? I mean, is Francis just going to retire now? Is he like what's going to be the thing?
I think retirement, no, but the boxing question. That's the one looming over here. Tyson Fury also tweeted out something, congratulations, but you got to come over here to make real money, something like that. That was his tweet. And it's just like, I mean, you're kind of fucking right, Tyson. You're kind of fucking right.
I mean, like, if I want to go make some money, I want to go fight Tyson Fury. I don't blame Ngannou for wanting to do that. You're gonna go fight the biggest,
so much money. Nagano,
biggest heavyweight star right now going.
Right.
Like,
Nagano would get his ass beat badly, but like, I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Get my ass beat to the bank. I'm alright with that. Right. It's like
I'll get my ass beat for 30 mil. That sounds fun.
That was great. Let's get it going.
I just don't. Oh man, it'll pay me if we end up seeing that though, because I just don't. I'm so done with MMA fighters going to boxing, man. Like I don't want to hear it anymore. I really don't. One of you guys come over to MMA. I'm sick of it.
I'll be interested to see it more if we could get somebody who's actually more of a boxer to go over and box. Because I think the biggest problems we have with that is we're seeing wrestlers go over to box.
And they're all boxing like, Jake Paul,
they're all boxing and getting knocked out. And it's sad. And it's like, all right, what are we doing? Yes.
I just don't like. Boxing is a fraction of what MMA fighters train. You know what I mean? It's a small fraction of what they train. boxers, you get to use your full skill set in MMA at least. You know, if you came over here, like you can carry over all the skills you've learned into MMA. It might not work as well, but you at least get to use that. MMA fighters, you're taking away so much of what they've trained for all these years when they go over to boxing, and it's just like you got MMA is more of an actual fight. You know, you want to prove who the best fighter is, you come over to MMA. It's not boxing is 25% of a fight, if that. You know what I mean? MMA is a full fight, so you want to find out who the best actual fighter is, you come over to MMA. You know, I don't care who the best boxer is. I care about who the best fighter is.
I feel you. I like both.
I like them both. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm entertained by boxing, but it's just like, if you guys like truly want to claim you're the best fighter in the world, then you have to do MMA. You can't tell me that Tyson Fury is the best fighter in the world. He's not. He'd get his ass beat by a lot of these MMA guys.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, if he came over and did MMA, and it was just straight MMA, 100%. I mean, that's why usually when he says he'll come over, he'll fight with the gloves, but there's gonna be some special rules.
Yeah,
they always want
like
they always want to do special rules. They always want
to,
like,
shut up with these special rules, man.
It's like we can do this. Maybe take out the leg kicks.
How about we just make them fight in the streets? Then we'll find out who the best fighter is. You know what I mean? Like shit.
Just throw a couple bats in there. Just have a good old time.
Fuck it. Whoever gets knocked out, we throw a rock in the middle, and then you do what you gotta do. All right.
But fun fight, all in all.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah. Looking forward to this. It'll be a very interesting year. What's unfortunate too is it sounds like if they don't figure out the contract thing, Nagano has to sit out a whole another year, and then for his contract to be up or whatever, there's like a time limit once 2023 hits. So it sounds like he'll be out a year if they don't figure this out, at least, and then he'll probably go box.
I really hope that doesn't happen.
Me too. Figure it out, please.
That's one of the biggest problems this heavyweight title has had. Is
activity?
It's just the champs taking forever.
Yeah.
To fight. You know, it happened with DC. It happened with Stipe. What was it? Was Kane very active?
No, Kane was not active at all.
Yeah, that's right. He wasn't too active. It's just like these guys are just like they get that chance. Like, it's just the heavyweights to get that championship.
It's rare we get two heavyweight title fights in a year. It's so rare. I think DC did it the one time when he fought Lewis on short notice, and then I think JDS was the last one to do it. Other than that, it's like almost the entire time I've been watching MMA, it's been one heavyweight title fight a year. It's crazy.
It's just good because you guys got guys like, you know, Usman, who fights 3-4 times a year.
Yeah, he fought 3 times last year.
Same thing with Figueiredo. I think he did 4 was it 2020.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno will move on to that fight in a minute, but they did their whole trilogy in 13 months. You know?
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
It was quick.
Yeah.
They got done quick.
It's nice. That's how it should be. Speaking of that fight, then, Sloan, Davison Figueiredo defeated Brandon Moreno by unanimous decision.
That he did.
48-47 in all scorecards. How'd you have this one?
Managed to pull it out. It's funny because I don't know. Before the fight started, I was rooting for Figueiredo. I was kind of thinking that, you know, him switching over to this training camp with Henry Cejudo. Because I think Moreno used to fight with Cejudo and them.
Yeah, think Moreno was on Cejudo's team on Tough or something, and then he trained over there for a little bit. I don't think they were like exactly training partners, but he definitely did some training with them.
But they're not anymore, so I kind of thought with that kind of, you know, I was thinking like, all right, well, Cejudo probably knows how Brandon fights a little bit, and they can probably come out with a better game plan than, you know, they could have his previous fights.
Yeah, I don't know where his other gym was. I don't know if he trained. I don't know. Those Brazilian gyms get confusing.
Yeah, I'm not 100%, but. Because I think Figueiredo came out, he looked different. Like he was
fired up for this fight for sure. Like he had a good attitude the whole week going into this one.
Yeah. But even like just his fighting style, it didn't feel as like crazy and aggressive. Like it was like in some parts,
it was a bit more stand back. Yeah, you're right on that. Kind of countering a little bit more than he is.
A little more subdue, you know. And it was, I don't know. I thought it was a smart fight on Figueiredo's. I thought he just came in with a better game plan, looked a lot better. I think wasn't he like a pound under or something?
He was 124 at this time.
Yeah,
It seemed like they really got that weight cut down for this.
Yeah, yeah. It seemed like his weight cut was not bad at all. 'Cause I know that's one of the problems he's had. It's just making weight.
Definitely. I mean, he's a big flyweight.
Yeah. So he just looked like he was going into this fight just better. So
yeah, I think that gym really helped him out. Plus, that gym, you got to think how much experience they had with the weight cuts, just getting Henry down to flyweight for years. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it definitely worked out in his favor. I had it.
But what I was gonna say, but going in after watching the fight, I kind of thought Brandon won the fight.
Did you?
Because I just thought all in all he just had a better performance. He just looked really good. Like Figueiredo looked great. I knew it was a close fight. Like don't get me wrong. Like I'm not like upset that Figueiredo won. I thought he did enough to win the fight. But I just thought Brandon did a little bit more.
Yeah, I think it kind of came down to output versus power, a little bit. And not that Figueiredo didn't have a lot of output. They did. I mean, they both had a shit ton of output. This was the fight of the night, so it was obviously just a fantastic fight all around. But I think the knockdowns really swayed the judges, you know? That's why I ended up giving Figueiredo the third, even though he got outlanded so much. But he got that big knockdown at the end, and it was just like, I see why the judges gave him that.
Yep. No, 100%. Well, that's like the thing, right? With like, it's the big things is what the judges remember the most. It's the big action, the knockdowns, the big takedowns,
And if you remember, both the knockdowns came at the end of the third and the end of the fifth. And it's just like, okay, well, you kind of just dropped the ball there then, Moreno.
No, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. Especially because a lot of these guys are also boxing, judges and stuff like that. So they will take those things probably a little bit more into consideration in an MMA fight as well.
You get a knockdown, you guarantee you win the round.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm not surprised Figueiredo won the fight at all. I just kind of thought Brandon did a little bit more to win it. But all in all, good, close fight. A good argument to make a fourth fight if there ever was one, to be honest.
I mean, they're 1-1-1 now, right? The first fight was a draw, so it's like,
exactly. I mean, this is one of those rare occasions where I feel like you could have a fourth fight. It makes sense.
Yeah, possibly the only occasion, honestly. You know what I mean? It's funny because I don't know. We'll see what they do from here, but like, I'd be down to watch these guys fight once every 6 months forever.
Well, what sucks about that division is it's not a very exciting division. Just to be honest.
No.
Like there's not a lot of guys in it that I'm like really like craving to watch fight. Right? It's just kind of like none of them are really talking that much. None of them are really.
It's almost a shame what happened to Garbrandt, because that at least would have. Garbrandt's at least a name that would have spiced things up a little bit. I mean, not that Kai France isn't great, but Garbrandt's just a bigger name, certainly.
100%. It's just like because I'm even looking at the rankings right now, and I'm just like I don't even really know. Because
I would say next up would be, I mean, they could do the fourth fight immediately. I wouldn't be mad at that, certainly. I kind of hope we move on for a little bit.
Well, here's the thing why I think they would do the fourth fight anyway. It's just because I'm just looking at it. That's probably their biggest moneymaker.
It certainly would be. But the thing is, it's like none of these are going to headline pay-per-views anyways, even if they do the fourth fight. So it's just like you could really slot anyone in there. Kai France is fighting Askar Askarov in March, so I think the winner of that would be up.
I think they could headline that card if they did it in Mexico City.
That's the only way. You're right.
Because man, because even the thing about listening to the crowd, they were excited for Brandon.
Yeah,
that crowd was going
Mexican
wild.
People come out to support their own for sure.
I mean, even after Figueiredo lost, everybody was booing him after he won. They were just booing him, and then when they interviewed Brandon, even though he lost, everybody just cheered for him. I mean, he's definitely a big star right now.
Yeah,
especially in Mexico.
I think UFC is probably a little bit disappointing because they saw how much attention Brandon Moreno was getting.
I mean, I get why Dana was upset. They lost their Mexican champ, and then they lost the potential of getting rid of the headache of Francis.
Yep.
Bad
night for Dana.
Bad night for Dana. He was not happy about it.
So is that what you want to see next? The fourth fight?
I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Kai France probably might deserve that title shot just because out of all the guys in 25, he's probably been the most vocal and like active and really.
He's been finishing people lately too. Is the thing.
Yeah,
his last 2 fights have been great knockouts. So
yeah.
He's fighting Askar Askarov in March. So I think Askar Askarov, he's on a hot win streak as well. I believe he's undefeated. He had a draw with Brandon Moreno in his debut.
Yeah.
So I think winner of that is next up. Honestly.
I mean, Askarov's looked amazing.
Yeah.
Just fight-wise, he's looked amazing.
Yeah, he's just been inactive for a little while. I think he got injured, so he's been out like over a year already. But then Alexander Pantoja is also out there, who's beaten Brandon Moreno a couple times. I know Moreno just lost the belt, so that's a little bit unfortunate for him. But Pantoja is also on hot win streak, so there's some names.
And he beat Askarov.
Who did? Pantoja beat Askarov, did he? I don't remember that at all. Oh, shit. I forgot all about that. I thought Askarov was undefeated. Well, never mind then. I mean, maybe it should be Pantoja then. Shit.
Because, I mean, that'd be fun.
That'd be fun, too. Yeah, there's some names there. It's missing that guy, right? The guy to, like, really bring some hype to the division. They don't have, like, an O'Malley or anything like that.
Wait, did I might have lied to you about that.
Did you lie to me? You lied to
me. I might have lied to you. Hold
on the show too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Askar Askarov is here. We can pull it up for people. Let me scroll down.
Yeah, no, never mind. I lied to you about that. I'm sorry. Don't kill me.
Liar. I'm gonna kill you.
I'm a liar.
Yeah, no. Askar Askarov is 14-0. He fought last year in March and he beat Joseph Benavidez. And he has a win over Alexander Pantoja. So yes, Askar Askarov, I believe, is next up.
Askarov's probably the most deserving.
Yeah.
If you had to give one.
I'd agree with that, certainly.
But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't know. That division needs to do something. It needs something.
I'm glad they kept it around though, because if you remember back in 2019, I believe they started cutting a lot of flyweights.
Yeah.
And it looked like the division was just gonna go away, and then Cejudo kind of saved it. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the flyweights here. Very interested 100%. Though. Okay then. The next fight. Michel Pereira defeated Andre Filola by unanimous decision. Michel Pereira coming out with the flying knee tactic that I like to use in the UFC video games. Just spam flying knees. Eventually one of them's gonna land, you know what I mean?
Spamming those knees. That was a fun fight. That was a good fight.
Michel Pereira always a good time, honestly. He's always a fun watch. And this Andre guy, he looked great for his UFC debut. I mean,
he did look good for it.
Yeah.
He was his jab was looking great.
Yeah, really interesting to hear DC talk about how he used to train with him for years, and then I was like, oh, this guy must be old. And he was only like 27, so I was like, oh, he was sparring DC and Kane as champions when this guy was like 19. Great.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Your head's gonna be just fine after that.
I have to imagine preparing for Michelle has got to be one of the hardest things to do.
Oh my god! It's
because
gonna be so frustrating fighting him too.
Who else fights like that? I mean, just like
dude's jumping off the cage, throwing Superman punches in 10 seconds.
You like bring in some capoeira shit every now and again. It's like, what
the rolling thunder kick you threw at the end of the first. I was like, oh, let's go.
What are we doing here? This is wild. I love it. I love it.
I do too. I'm really glad this guy was able to figure out his conditioning. Yeah. If you remember when he first made his debut, he dropped a couple fights to one guy making his debut, and then one guy, and then to Diego Sanchez, and both those were just stupid conditioning problems on his end. Like he was just doing flips and too much shit during the fight.
Well, the Diego one was the illegal knee or whatever.
Yeah, like, that one ended with the illegal knee. But even in that one, I'm pretty sure he was getting tired still.
Yeah. Well, he was beating up Diego. Like he was winning that fight.
Yeah,
like, he was getting tired. Yeah. He was getting tired, but he was winning that fight, and then he just did the stupid nonsense. And then Diego was like, "Oh, do I win the fight? Do I win the fight?"
He's Diego, just like, classic Diego.
But
yeah, I'm glad it does seem like he's been able to narrow it down and like use. You could still be crazy. You could still throw all your crazy punches and your crazy kicks and stuff. Just limit it. You know, just don't exert all your energy doing it. And he seemed to have figured that out.
Right. Well, you know, I think I don't even know if he so much had a conditioning issue as it was more of he had a 2 like 5 to 10 minute walkout that drained him too much.
I do remember the Tristan Collin fight when he just danced for like 5 minutes. And it was like, what are you doing?
It took forever. He's doing flips, dancing, getting crazy before he even got in the ring. And then as soon as he got in the ring, it's like, oh, he's running out of gas. It's like, oh, well, it's because he did 40 flips into the ring.
Wouldn't that be something? He just backflips all the way there. He's great, though. I really want to see this guy like crack into the rankings and fight big names and like main event shows and stuff because it'd just be fun.
Oh, dude, I mean, this guy, I mean, he's just a main card guy anyway, just with the way he fights.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's wild, doing crazy stuff all the time. It's like, it's fun.
So
like, I
big for welterweight, too. Like,
yeah. Gigantic. I mean, he's got to have, like, no body fat on him. Like, he's just ripped, gigantic, athletic. It's like, whew. He's a fun guy to watch, and I'll be excited to see, if he actually makes a decent run.
On a 4-fight win streak now, so getting up there. Gonna have to start looking at the top of the division there.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see him.
Fun to see him. Yeah, I don't think he's currently ranked, so I kind of want to pull up the rankings, see, because I want him to fight someone at like 15 through 10. I think that's a appropriate next step for him.
Right.
I just don't know who would be right now. Let me look at welterweight here. Ponzinibbio would be great. Li Jingliang would be great. Jeff Neal, any of those, honestly. Hazmat, you ain't gonna watch this dude versus Hazmat, you know what I mean? That'd be fucking fun.
I would like to see that fight, but I think Hazmat's already.
Yeah, it seems like Hazmat's fighting Gilbert Burns next. That's
which is like I don't think we'll see it for a little bit. Yeah, I think Ponzinibbio would be a fun one.
Yeah, Ponzinibbio could be great, actually. They kind of look similar, too.
I think he just lost to Jeff Neal, I think.
Yeah, you're right. He lost to Jeff Neal back in December, so that would be a very good one.
That could be a fun fight. And then you got Lee. I mean, that'd be probably a nice fight for Lee to come back to. Because, I mean, he just got manhandled by Chimaev.
Yeah, you need a good bounce back after that one. I don't know. Maybe I'm picking somewhere else if I'm Lee. Yeah.
I'm good on that fight.
That one's brutal. All right. We will now move on to the bantamweight bout. Zaid Nurmagomedov defeated Cody Stamen by submission guillotine. Round 1. 45 seconds in.
Not a whole lot to say about this fight. It was just business got taken care of, and we went on.
Brutal guillotine, man.
Oh, dude,
got that elbow way in there. Really fucking.
It was sneaky too.
Yeah, I think they call that a ninja choke, actually. So there's a good reason why. All right.
Yeah, he just kind of just popped that right in there. Next thing we know, the fight's over.
Yeah,
that was quick. Like, that just, I mean,
Unfortunate for Cody Stamen. I know he's on a 3-fight losing streak now. He was a hot prospect a couple of years ago, so
definitely, and that did not help him.
No, not at all. I mean,
whatsoever.
There's a good possibility that he gets cut after this. Honestly, 3 losses, and that's typically all you get in the UFC. Yeah.
Usually,
if one of them's not a title fight, that's typically what you get.
Usually you got to be a top guy not to get cut.
Yeah.
After 3 fights, typically.
Yeah, so that might be the last we see of Cody Stamen in the UFC, honestly.
It's possible, yeah, and just like losing quick like that, just like just not good.
Yeah,
looks
but Zaid, I suppose.
Zaid.
Zaid, I suppose he just takes his spot now. I think Cody Stamen was ranked like 14 or something like that. So good for Zaid. Start moving up in those rankings, stuff like that. I'm sure he'll start getting talked about, especially when you got a last name like that. Even though he's not related to Habib, people are gonna think he is. So you'll be able to throw him on any main card with that last name.
100%. That'll definitely have him. I don't know who.
Let me look at Bantamweight. Bantamweight is on fire right now, though.
It is.
Bantamweight is so good. Like, I can't wait for all the Bantamweight to be played out this year. We finally got the title fight scheduled and stuff like that. So, yeah, I would. Let's see here. Rafael Sunsao is ranked 15, although we're hearing that he's also been let go from the UFC. I think Ariel Hawani said that the other day. So,
really?
He's probably not there yet anymore. Sonya Dawn is fighting Marlon Moraes.
You could just pop into that 15 spot.
Yeah, you could put him right there, actually.
Yeah. If they got rid of.
Yeah, I don't know who you go with here. Like, does O'Malley want to fuck with Zaid? You know.
I would say Ricky or Frankie.
Yeah, that would be the next logical step there, right?
Yeah.
I don't know with Frankie Edgar though too. He's on a 3-fight losing streak too. It's getting kind of dicey with these fights. I don't know. If I'm Frankie, I don't fight any more of these young up and comer guys.
Yeah, but that's just what's gonna happen though.
Yeah,
that's just.
I don't know. Maybe Frankie should think about moving back up to featherweight or something.
Frankie's probably thinking about retiring. So Frankie's probably good.
Man, don't break my heart like that.
I know, dude. I
don't want to live in a world where Frankie Edgar isn't fighting anyone.
When you see guys that have been in for a while, then they start getting towards the end of their career, and they're just getting knocked out. It's like at that point, it's like, oof, that's gonna be rough. It's harder to come back and recover from stuff like that. So the older you get.
No, I agree. The conversation needs to be had with Frankie, but it's just like
look. Frankie can fight as long as he wants. I would never take that away from anybody. You're a grown adult. You make your own decisions. You do what you want to do. But at the end of the day, I mean, I think Frankie just he's not. I think he's ranked 11 now. And I don't think he's going for another title shot. So if he's not gonna go for, not gonna get another title run, I mean, what are you fighting for at this point? Do you need money?
Yeah.
Or, do you want to keep just taking? I mean, does he just love fighting? If he just loves fighting, like Anderson Silva, just loves to fight.
Right.
That's just that's just your passion. Keep going for it, by all means. But if that's not it, and you don't think you're getting that title shot, and you're just doing it for the money, it's like, okay. Maybe at a certain point, maybe that's not so good for you.
You gotta start thinking about it there, Frankie. Yeah, that pains me to say, but I mean, you are right. It is getting a little dicey for Frankie there. But we'll see. We'll see what he decides.
I mean, I would still like to see Frankie fight. I mean, don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean that he couldn't come back. I mean, they got a lot of older dudes now coming back.
How old is he now? Let me see. He's 40. Yeah, I mean. It's about time. It's just such a shame. It's just crazy, man. That guy, he was the lightweight champion, and he's down at bantamweight now. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah. No. Which is wild. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, we'll move on then to the pay-per-view opener, where Michael Morales defeated Trevin Giles by TKO round 1.
Great.
Debut. Great debut for Michael Morales here. I know this guy's really hyped. Dana really likes him. I know he was on the Contender Series last season, and Dana was really hyped by him. He trains out of the gym that Brandon Moreno's from, so that whole team was there last night. Nice. I think they were half and half with winning. Or this might have been the only guy that won from that gym. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Yeah, he looked great. A little dicey there in the beginning. Trevin Giles was coming out with some really crisp boxing. I think he even got a takedown or two in the early part of that round. But yeah, like a lot of these other prospects lately, Paddy Pimblett did this, and Ian Gary did this, where like it looks dicey at first. You're getting a little bit clipped, you're getting rocked, and it's like, I don't know if this is gonna be the guy. And then all of a sudden they come out, get the big TKO, and there you go. Off the start.
I mean, Trevin Giles, that's a tough guy.
Yeah,
that's that's a tough night. So that was a good showing for old Michael there.
Yeah, tough debut.
Yeah,
like Trevin Giles has a good amount of experience in the UFC, so
definitely he came out. He did what he needed to do. He looked good.
Yeah. So, I don't have a name for him next. That it's just you're at welterweight. There's so many people there. You're gonna have to work your way up for a little while. He's also only 22, so
young dude.
Yeah,
young dude.
I think anyone under 25, take your time, man. There's no. I would only fight if I was under 25. I would only fight like twice a year. And then just get better in between those.
It depends how much of a run he goes on.
Yeah,
because he's already 13-0.
Yeah.
So say he wins 4 or 5 more fights, does it well. I can see them pushing him kind of quick.
That's what happens to these guys, man. And then you get put up against like a real guy, and then it gets dicey.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and you gotta be really smart with your career these days when you're super young.
That's the I think that welterweight division. That's a tough division.
Possibly the hardest one, honestly.
And oof, this guy seemed more like a striker, less like a wrestler. If the vibes I was kind of getting
seemed like that, yeah.
And welterweight, some of the toughest wrestlers in just the UFC.
It's definitely the heaviest wrestling division, by far.
So I think we kind of got to see, test him against some heavy, like hardcore heavy wrestler guys, see how he does.
Yeah. Yeah, I would just say take your time.
I would say at first I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him fighting more striking heavy welterweights for the time being. At least the first couple
UFC
fights.
Typically likes to put those guys together, right?
Yeah. And then I say maybe his third, fourth fight is going to be a wrestler. Well, I think at that point, depending on whether he wins the other fights or not, we'll see how good he really is.
Yeah, we will see. Definitely another hot young prospect, though. So we're getting a lot of them lately, man. The future of the UFC is bright. Couldn't believe how much this guy looked like Miles Morales, though. Can't get over that. His facial structure, I was just like, man, they're like exactly the same.
Maybe if he gets popular enough, they'll make that Miles Morales movie. He can go
big night for PlayStation yesterday with this guy winning and then Davison Figueiredo being the God of War.
That'd be amazing.
I love how Figueiredo puts the red streak in his hair too. Like, Sony Santa Monica, y'all need to sponsor this guy. Like,
dude, 100%. Because I remember when I first saw Davison Figueiredo, he had the thing, and I was thinking in my head, I'm like, he can't possibly be Kratos.
I know, some Brazilian guy. You would never think this guy's just super into God of War.
It's like his nickname's God of War. I'm just thinking of like, it's like, really? He's going with Kratos? Like, it's amazing. Like,
it is amazing, right?
Like, it's fantastic. Kratos is my God of War too, Figueiredo. I agree.
Totally with it. When God of War Ragnarok comes out, we got to do a promotion thing. You got to get Figueiredo fighting on that time,
That'd be amazing. He's so good.
Yeah, that's destiny. Okay, we'll go to the main prelim. Victor Henry defeated Ronnie Barcelos by unanimous decision. I'm probably pronouncing that last name very wrong, but whatever. Great fight here.
That Victor Henry guy looked great.
He did. Yeah, this is UFC debut too. Although he had so much experience coming in this fight that it didn't really seem like a mismatch, but
for sure. Well, also he was a hell of an underdog.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah, some people were making money off him last night.
Yeah, definitely. So he just, man, his boxing. I mean, just he looked good. His striking,
unique style, right? Almost around a little bit of Dominic Cruz in there, stuff like that. Yeah, that's kind of what it looked like.
He was good at cutting them off across the cage. Good at just sneaking those strikes. Like, he just looked good.
Yeah,
like, it was fun. It was fun watching him with his striking performance and that.
This is one of those guys, the exact opposite of Michael Morales, where I would throw him into the deep end right away because he already looks ready for it, and he was already, I think he was like 34, Yeah,
so he's already older, dude. He has a ton of fights already.
Yeah, I know. That's why he already has all the experience in the world, and his age is already up there. So it's like, okay, let's just throw this guy in the deep end right away.
Well, he even said in his post-fight little speech there, he was like, look, I'm older, I get it, my shelf life's going,
Yeah,
so I only got 1 or 2 runs left in me right now, so let's get it going.
Yeah,
I was like, there you go, man, that's how you do it.
Now's the time. Yeah,
that's how you do it. Get in there.
This was at Bantamweight, right?
Yeah, Bantamweight.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, tough division to try to crack into the rankings there, but yeah, definitely try to get the highest name possible if you're this guy and just keep going, keep rattling off, fight every 3-4 months if I'm this guy.
100%.
Yeah, and then Ronnie has looked good his whole UFC career thus far. I know he's taken a couple losses, but he's been a good prospect. So I think he's younger too. How old is he? He's 34 as well, so he's kind of getting up there too. Yeah, an unfortunate setback then for him, but just keep working your way up there. I'm sure he won't get cut. He's on 2-fight losing streak now, so the next one will be dicey for him.
Win your next fight, buddy.
Yeah, for sure.
Win that next fight.
This next one I really enjoyed. Jack Della Mandela? Something like that, whatever. I don't know. Nah, I'm saying that
something
really
like that.
wrong. Whatever. Someone will correct me.
Jack Della Madalena.
Sure, whatever.
Maybe,
I think I said a different word. Whatever. He defeated Pete Rodriguez by TKO round 1. This was a barn burner for as long as it lasted, man. This guy has great boxing.
Yeah, he does. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That was a good knockout.
Yeah, landing that big right hand over his right hand. It was
Yeah.
just ow. Crazy.
Out of
I'm fortunate for this Pete Rodriguez guy because he just does seem like a younger
it.
guy that just got kind of put in this position a bit too quickly. You know, he was only 4-0, so it's like you probably shouldn't be in the UFC.
100% has some crazy face tattoo stuff.
Yeah,
It's like looking wild.
smaller guy too for that division. He should probably think about cutting down a weight class.
Yeah, he honestly just that fight kind of felt like they needed somebody to fight.
Well, he was a late replacement. He was supposed to fight this Jack guy was supposed to fight Warley Alvarez, I believe. So who's obviously a much more experienced fighter. So that probably would have been a closer contest. But yeah, at least he's in the UFC now, right? If you're Pete Rodriguez, that's you got to be waking up this morning and thinking like, okay, at least I'm here, right?
Yeah, at least I'm here. At least,
start over, get a different fight, get a full training camp, and
let's try. I don't know, maybe they might not use him again. That might have been like
UFC is typically pretty good though at giving you another chance if you do something for them. Because I think he filled in on like 14 days notice. So
that's fair. That's fair. Give him another chance. I mean, it's welterweight. I mean, it's a hard division anyway. He did look kind of smaller. If I was him, I might think about going down the
cut down a lightweight. I think that'd be a better spot for him too. But this Jack Della guy, man, he looked great. I can't. He's only 25, so I can't wait. Again, another hot prospect here, man.
So, and welterweight just looks good, man.
Welterweight's on fire. You know, every weekend.
I'd probably say they're second after lightweight.
Yeah,
just
that's kind of how it's felt for years, but bantamweight's slowly creeping up too.
Yeah, definitely. It's a fun division. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what happens in the welterweight division this year.
Yeah,
honestly, a little bit more than the lightweight division this year so far, to be honest.
Yeah, well, you got Hazmat coming up too. You know, that's just such a hot name, and then Kamaru Usman's just been on fire. So
yeah. Come on, Shemaya, be my savior, please.
Someone beat Usman.
Be my savior.
He's gotta get through birds. All right, another bantamweight fight. Tony Gravely defeated Simon Oliveira by unanimous decision.
Tony looked good.
Yeah, good fight here. Yeah. Strong wrestling by Tony Gravely. He's now claiming he's the strongest wrestler in the bantamweight division.
Really?
We'll see if that's true. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he knows something we don't.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you know, bantamweight. I mean, I'll give it to Aljo. Aljo's a good wrestler.
Aljo is a very good wrestler, right?
You know,
Henry Cejudo is also probably coming back at some point. So
I mean, if Henry comes back, Henry's a fantastic wrestler.
Yeah, I mean, the only Olympic gold medalist, I believe. So
yeah. So you know,
but yeah, this fight, unfortunate, it came after the next fight we're gonna talk about because that fight was so exciting that this one just was a buzz.
Was not as exciting, a little slower.
Yeah,
Tony looked good. I mean, Tony's performances all in all are usually pretty good.
Yeah, how long's he been around? Let me see here. He's been around quite a while now. Actually, he made his debut. Well, no, that was only beginning of 2020. It feels like 2020 was so long ago now. But yeah, he has 3 wins in the UFC now. So keep working your way up for him.
He's look good. Just keep on going. I mean, bantamweights. I mean, that top bantamweight division is a tough division. But I'm sure if he gets 1 or 2 more wins, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised seeing him fight a ranked guy soon.
Yeah, crack in there eventually. He's a young guy too. So how old is he? Oh, he's 30. Not too young, but you know, right in your prime now. So now's the time to make a run. This next fight I really want to talk about. Matt Frevolo defeated Gerano Valdez. Sure. Go with that. Yeah, by TKO round 1. This fight was nuts. How many times did he drop him?
Oh, dude, it was like absurd.
It was like 3 times. Yeah, something like
dude.
That.
They should have stopped that fight way sooner. Like I was like,
that was one of the ones where I was like, okay, you can stop at any time. Now.
I was like, ooh, getting ready for this guy. He's getting his ass whooped. Like that guy. I mean, he lived up to his name. Steam was a Steam Roller.
Steam Frevolo. Steam. I don't know. Something to do with his last name and the word Steam.
It's like, and I was like, I agree. This guy is steamrolling this dude. Get it going.
Yeah.
That was fun. Yeah, it's Matt Frevolo's guy. He's a fun fighter to watch.
Yeah, he's been fun since he made his UFC debut. It was a dicey fight for him too because he was on a 2-fight losing streak, so he definitely needed this one. He was a hot prospect coming off the Contender Series back in the day, but he's dropped a couple in the UFC since then. But nonetheless, you keep putting on shows like this one. You're gonna get names, you're gonna get checks, you're gonna get all that.
I mean, if you're just a fun fighter to watch, I mean, that's what you want.
Yeah, exactly. UFC tends to always keep these guys around if you're constantly fun. Doesn't really matter how much you lose.
Because that's how I feel about like Gaethje. Like, I don't think it matters if Gaethje was on a 3-fight win streak or a 3-fight losing streak. You wanna watch.
You
Gaethje
keep
fight.
Justin Gaethje.
Yeah. There's just certain guys like this. It doesn't matter. Just lose however much you want. Like Donald Cerrone. That's another example. I love watching Cerrone fight. I don't care if he's losing or winning.
Nah.
He's just fun to watch fight. So if you could get into that kind of degree of just fun, exciting fights to watch, just getting to it, he will just have success.
Yeah, good way to earn money. Bad for your brain.
Yeah, not good for the brain.
No,
not good for having a long career, but you'll probably have a very lucrative career. That's
here for a fun time, not a long time.
Yeah. I think this is what Chandler said. I think something like that.
Everyone says that.
Yeah, it's just like, we're just here. Let's get some good fights in.
Your next fight.
I mean that division, lightweight.
It's just so hard to break in at lightweight too.
Yeah, there's just so many damn killers in that division.
Like you could just talk about guys at lightweight for hours and hours and hours.
You could have a whole just podcast in the lightweight division.
Definitely.
Just like you just go hard on
6 hours. Just talking about all the names there.
100%. So he's gonna have a hard time. He's gonna have a hard time getting into there. But I mean, if he can do it, he can do it. It'll be great.
Yeah, definitely. All right, cool. The next fight on the early prelims, Vanessa Dempas defeated Sylvana Gomez. Not gonna try the last name. That's her name. This was the crazy armbar that happened immediately, where Vanessa got dropped and then she locked up an armbar on the ground immediately and had that shit cinched up.
I mean, this fight was wild because I was like, that Gomez fucking knocked her down hard. She was swinging bombs. I was like, oh man, let's go back and get finished. And then
you gotta be kicking yourself if you're Gomez after that.
100%. Because then Vanessa pulls up that armbar, and I was like, damn, that was amazing.
It's just gotta be so because you could. I totally understand Gomez's position where like you're not thinking this girl's gonna throw up an armbar and lock it. You totally think like there's no way she's got her head together. She's coherent enough to even do that, So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's gotta be a tough one.
Well, that's one of those things, and I don't know. I feel like not enough people, when they knock down somebody like that, they will not just let them back up. Right. Like and I feel like if you're beating somebody on the feet, keep it on the feet.
Yeah.
Like don't get into that wrestling, that jiu-jitsu.
Just don't even go there. Make them get up.
Yeah, because that is going to be harder for them to do, is to get up after getting knocked down. Then you just go and try and do some ground and pound, and then it doesn't quite work out. Especially, I feel like you got to be even more careful of that with the smaller divisions.
Mm-hmm. They get their wits together so quickly too.
Just the recovery time just seems way quicker. These guys are generally more flexible, able to kind of throw stuff up like that real quick. When you get up to like heavier dudes, heavyweight, light heavyweight, even middleweight, it's like a lot harder for those guys to quickly get into those jiu-jitsu exchanges unless they're just super fit and athletic and crazy. It's a little easier to keep them down, to get the ground and pound in. But when you get, especially these girls, man, like they recover quick.
Yeah.
They, generally they're not bad at jiu-jitsu, and and it just that got shown that last night.
Same time, I understand the temptation though. Like you knock someone 100%. Down, heat of the moment, you're just like, fuck it, go for it, get the finish.
Go for the finish.
Yeah,
100%.
And that's got to be such a split the second decision that you got to make. I do not envy them.
Oh no, 100%. And I get why they're doing it. You want to do it to get the finish. You want to get in there, ground and pound, get the finish, try to get that fight of the night bonus, do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like you can still get that, if you just
And not get caught in an armbar.
Yeah, not get caught in an armbar. Because now the narrative went from, oh man, this Gomez throwing bombs, man, she's like knocking chicks out. Now it got turned into, oh, check out Vanessa throwing out these quick arm bars and looking at all this.
And then fucking making Joe Rogan pick her up and doing the splits. It's like, nah, this Vanessa girl just took all the heat. She was getting talked about quite a bit last night. I believe she also won the bonus. Yep, she did. Nice. Also Zaid won a bonus, and then of course Figueiredo and Moreno got fight of the night. But yeah, this girl, way to what do I want to say here? Take over the moment, you know, with the Joe Rogan interview and stuff like that, making him pick her up and stuff like that was very funny, and she was getting talked about quite a bit last night. So
no, she did all the right things.
Yeah,
she did all the she did the right things. Like man, it is so important, and I've said this before. It is so important when you get that mic after a fight. You need to do something.
Be memorable.
You do something.
You know?
You need to do something.
Yeah.
You know,
she did something.
as nice as it is to go up going like, oh yes, my opponent was fantastic, and oh, we'll just see what the UFC gives me, and oh, I'm just gonna go home and see the family. That's nice and wholesome and great and everything. I forgot you 3 days later. That's what
right, exactly.
That's the problem. You know, you need to get that next fight. You need to, or just do something. Be wacky. Make just somebody remember you. I mean, you know, be Ben Rothwell, do a creepy evil laugh that doesn't make any sense. Okay.
I mean, don't be Ben Rothwell. That guy freaks me out.
But I remembered it. Damn it. It's like, but you know, that was fun. Good for her. Good night for her. I'm sure she was excited. I think I was hearing that she was stripping.
She was a stripper like 6 to 8 weeks before this fight.
Yeah. So I'm sure so I'm sure, you know, comparatively money wise, she probably made a whole lot of money. I'm sure she's excited about that.
Dana paid her in once.
It's like, there we go.
There you go.
So congrats on her. I'll be interested to see what happens. You know, I think the women's divisions in general just need more fun, exciting people.
Yeah.
Just a little more, just like more people willing to kind of get out there, do some crazy shit, you know, be a little more memorable.
I'm still waiting for like the women's divisions to really catch up to the, and they probably never will entirely to the men's division, but it's still like even this girl was 7-4, right? Like we would, it's almost never that we see someone's in the men's division make their debut, unless it's at like flyweight or whatever, but make their debut and they're 7-4, you know, like UFC typically stays away from those type of people. So I just think there's just a lack of women in MMA in general. I mean, not a lack, but like, it seems like there's definitely more women in MMA than there are in boxing, but yeah, I don't know. It's tough, man.
It seems hard to find a bunch of women, you know?
Yeah.
Because honestly, I think they're always like, these promotions are always like trying to scout, you know, other.
It's like Invicta, which is that straight women's promotion, and it's like UFC takes everyone from them, you know, like like that pretty much is the where you fight before you go to the UFC if you're women, you know. So
no, definitely.
And then it gets hard too with Bellator having their own and stuff. It's just it seems so spreadly thin with women.
Yeah, definitely. I think Khabib said he wasn't gonna have women's in his promotion.
In Eagle FC now he was saying pretty much what I'm saying is that there's just not enough talent there. Yeah,
that doesn't want to compete with all these other promotions.
And that's why we need the big women names. Like, look how many women came over because of Ronda Rousey and stuff like that. Like, we need the big names, your Amanda Nunes and people like that, just to inspire the younger generation to come up and to come through MMA.
Yeah,
but I certainly think like there's no younger women now that are picking boxing over MMA. You know.
Well, I forget her name, but there's that one girl who was in the Contender Series who I think was like quite the decorated boxer who was like coming over, and she won her fight in the Contender Series, but I don't think she has actually fought in the UFC. Then she won that Contenders fight. I can't remember her name.
Is it Clarissa Shields?
Not Clarissa
she wasn't in Contender Series.
She wasn't in
Contender Series. Interesting. I don't remember.
I can't remember her name.
Oh, she was just a highly decorated boxer and came over.
Yeah. And I think people were kind of excited seeing her come over.
Yeah.
And she got the contract, but she hasn't. What was her name? I'm trying to see my face.
Yeah, there's a lot like that. I mean, even if you look at like Holly Holm was a boxer before that, like a big one as well. She just got inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame. That's how good of a boxer Holly Holm was. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they could go get some talent from over there. Like I said, I think it's just it is going to be the next generation that takes over for women and really pushes it forward for women's MMA.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in boxing they could probably find some girls.
Yeah,
to bring over to MMA.
certainly. Even Clarissa Shields, though, you go. I mean, that's the best women's boxer. She just lost too, so it's just like credit to Clarissa Shields, because this is what I was saying earlier with boxers coming over to MMA. Y'all come over to MMA and find out what happens. And Clarissa Shields did, so much credit to her.
Yeah. Okay, I think her name was Danielle Wolf.
Danielle Wolf? Who the hell is that?
Three-time national boxing champ.
Is it Daniela?
Dan, maybe something like that. Gonna be in featherweight, I think.
Okay, I'm getting some girl that's a tennis fighter. Oh, okay, I see who you're talking about. Danielle Wolf. Let me see. I don't know who this is at all. Yeah, she had one fight in the Contender Series in 2020, September 2015. What's her boxing record?
Yeah, and they haven't done anything with her yet. I'm a little surprised. One of the because her ground game didn't look too good in the fight, so I think they're probably giving her enough time to.
Oh, here you go. Wolf was scheduled to make her professional debut against Felice Spencer on May 22nd, 2021. Okay. However, Wolf had to pull out of the fight in early May due to an undisclosed injury.
Yeah.
And she just apparently has been injured since.
Okay.
Wolf returned. Huh. This is an interesting prospect. I've never even heard of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested.
She was gonna fight Felice Spencer too. That's a really tough fight. I mean, I know Felice Spencer retired now, but that would be a really tough debut. She's only 1-0 in MMA as well. So yeah. But you know what that is that she fights at 145, which is like you're pretty much just getting a title shot if you fight at 145.
Pretty much. Huh. But it'd be interesting to see her come in.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good one to keep your eye on. Okay, let's talk about this last fight then. Jasmine Jazdevicius. I don't know. Sure, we're going with that. Defeated Kay Hansen by unanimous decision.
It was an okay fight. I was gonna.
Yeah.
That's kind of slow.
This was like the definition of Kay Hansen. You shouldn't be fighting at this weight class because this girl's way bigger than you. Go back to 115, Kay Hansen.
Definitely.
This is almost what I was talking about, though. Is I know Kay Hansen lost, but she is the younger next generation. She's only 22, and it's like she's going a little too quickly, though. This is also what I was talking about. Is that like she already has 3 UFC fights, and she's only 22, and you lost 2 of them now. So it's just like, and her record is 7-5. Why are you 22 and you already have 12 fights? Like that's a lot. And 6 boxing fights she has. Yeah. So that's like a lot of experience, which is good. Obviously, you want experience, but you're moving too quickly, You just need to settle down, just really focus on getting better between these camps and stuff like that. And she hasn't fought since 2020, to be fair. So maybe it really was just the flyweight is the wrong move for her, wrong division for her. So drop back down 115 and then try to refocus. But yeah, unfortunate for Kay Hansen.
No, definitely.
I know we're not focusing on the winner as much. I'm a big Kay Hansen fan, so
No, definitely. No, I've enjoyed watching her fight. She seems like there's some potential there.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
There was a lot when she made her debut. So
yeah.
And then this other girl, Jasmine, she looked good. Had good boxing. Was obviously a big girl. Able to really defend those takedowns and whatnot. So yeah, good for her.
In that flyweight division, though. The hard one.
Yeah. I feel like the women's flyweight division will be the one soon enough. I feel like that because we see so many girls dropping down from bantamweight and then so many coming up from strawweight. I feel like it's gonna be the prime women's division soon enough. Just not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Obviously, Shevchenko rolling through everyone isn't helping.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, well, now it's like because now we got Pena as the bantamweight. Shevchenko as the flyweight, Rose as the strawweight. Very different landscape compared to last year, champion-wise.
Yeah, really with Nunes. I mean, Nunes leaving is just such a big deal, right?
Well, and also because she's still the champ of featherweight, but it's like featherweight doesn't even have a rankings.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like what's really happened in that division. whole lot of nothing.
Nothing. It doesn't even have enough girls to make a ranking stain yet. So I don't even. I feel like featherweight's days are numbered now at this point, especially if Nunes comes back and loses to Pena again. Yeah, that might be it for the featherweight division. See that.
That division just doesn't.
Yeah, it's again not enough talent, you know.
I mean, the only reason I feel like they kept it was just so you could keep saying Nunes was a 2-time division champ.
Yeah, I mean that was really it after Cyborg left, right?
Yeah, it's just kind of like, what are we doing?
It's so unfortunate they couldn't keep Cyborg around, you know. It's like for women's division to really be strong, we really need Bellator to like either just get rid of theirs or take over the women's. One of these promotions has to be just the strict women's divisions.
Yeah, no kidding. If you could combine Bellator's women's division, the UFC's women's division, you would have a pretty good.
Right, it'd be a decent division then, right?
Yeah. But that's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, definitely not. All right, Sloan, that will do it for UFC 270. We'll now move on to some more recent news. Some really exciting fights got announced. They've gone on like the last couple of weeks have been really good with fighter announcements.
Yep.
Kind of starting to fill out the year here. So we will start with this one. Taiti Avarsa will fight Derek Lewis at UFC 271 on February 12th. So our next pay-per-view, which is only 3 weeks away. Yeah.
Not too far.
Coming up quick, yeah. Both these guys coming off big wins in December with Derek Lewis defeating Chris Dawkins and Taiti Avarsa defeating Augusto Sakai. Both had big knockouts last month, so this is a banger of a fight here, Sloan.
I mean, it's a fun fight.
Yeah,
it is a
co-main event too, by the way.
Super fun fight. It's the co-main for 271.
Yeah, co-main now. Got it officially made last night.
That's exciting.
Great fight. Yeah. Great one to put on that card too with Ty and having Izzy on there as well. You get that whole New Zealand Australian market watching.
No, definitely. I mean, I can't wait for the fight. Man, both those guys. Man, I love Derek Lewis. I'm a huge Derek Lewis.
Both these guys.
Fan.
I mean, they're the two fan favorites at heavyweight.
I mean, this fight is just a fun fucking fight. I mean, that's just. I can't wait. I can't wait for the press conference and talking to each other.
It's gonna be so funny.
I can't wait. Like this is gonna be a fun ass fight, and I don't think it's gonna be like I think Ty's gonna come out and fight. Like I don't think he's gonna be too afraid to win, get knocked out, do what you gotta do. So last thing you want is a repeat of Derek Lewis and Francis Ngannou. Just two heavy hitters, too afraid to punch.
There's no way. I mean, that chance is always there, but like with this fight, I can't even see this getting out of the first. Honestly, someone's going to sleep, and I don't know who you lean in here because it's just so hard. It's like a toss up for me. I really don't know because it's both just like who's gonna land that one first, who's gonna land that punch first. But also, Derek Lewis has a fucking chin, and we've never seen him get knocked out.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not true. But I mean, obviously, Ciryl Gane did that to him, and then JDS. But that was all like accumulative punches,
I mean, the problem is like Ty's quick. Like he's not the slowest striker, and Derek doesn't handle fast dudes very well.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. It's
like my heart is going for Derek. Like I'm going for Derek. I want Derek to win.
Yeah,
but. I think Ty has probably. I wouldn't be surprised if he was the favorite going into that.
Ty's got the sauce right now too. He's on a 3-fight winning streak. He's looking really hot right now. People love Ty too. I mean, people love Derek Lewis too, but like Ty could be a superstar.
So like both these guys, like honestly, there's just. It's hard to say.
You're right though about the press conference. It's gonna be hilarious.
Oh,
these two.
I can't wait. I can't wait
for funny.
Having like them, then having Izzy and Robert on it, and just like, it'd be a fun press conference.
Definitely.
But I'll be excited for that fight. I'm hoping Derek wins. I want Derek to win. But Ty's great. Love Ty.
I just want Ty because I just like seeing the shoeies, honestly.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think Ty's a tough guy. Like, and he had a little bit of a hard spot, but he's really kind of come around. Really
he was on a losing streak there for a minute, but on a 4-fight win streak now, so we will see if it continues next pay-per-view. Next fight, Colby Covington will fight Jorge Mazardoff in the main event of UFC 272 on March 5th.
Here
it is, Sloan.
Yeah. I can't wait for that fight. I can't wait.
Thank God they got this done.
Exactly. I'm glad they did, because this is, I mean, that's like this fight, one of the few really big feuds that are actually in the UFC right
now. A legitimate grudge match
here,
you know.
Yeah. So I can't wait.
It's funny though we say that, but in the back of my mind, I'm still like, did Colby and Mazardoff playing this off? Were they just like a few years back, like, hey, what if we just pretend to hate each other? Then eventually me and you could like headline a pay-per-view, you know, without even a belt on the line, which is amazing, you know? Like, no one gets that treatment except Connor, you know?
That would be amazing if that's how it was. It would be. It'd be amazing.
What a plan by them, you know?
But it seems pretty legit. Like,
it does. It's just hard for me to imagine that you two were best friends to the point where you lived together for years at one. It'd be like you and Daniel going at it in a couple years. You know?
100%. You know, a couple years down the line, they'll hate each other. Next thing we know, it's like, get to it. It'd be amazing. But I can't wait for this fight.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, like, I think Colby's gonna win it.
I do too. I think the wrestling advantage is just too much.
Yep, no, definitely. And Colby's just, I mean, Colby is a top guy. I mean, he's beaten so many dudes. He looks great. His cardio is insane. I mean, he's just a tough fight. And it's not that Masvidal isn't, but I think that wrestling advantage is just too great of an advantage.
I think what will make it a great fight though is that like Mazardoff is going to be so like, if I'm getting taken down, I got to get up, you know? Like, there's you can't lose this. Masvidal's in like a no-lose situation.
Oh, definitely. Well, Masvidal's also, he's like one of the biggest stars now. You know?
Definitely.
Yeah,
he's headlining a pay-per-view.
I mean, I would arguably say he's like probably under, I'd probably say he's third. I would say Connor's number one, Diaz's are second, and then he would be third.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that, yeah.
I mean, he's just big star. I think people just love him. People just want to watch him fight. People want to get to it. I mean, and he definitely won it. I mean, his striking is fantastic. He could definitely just pull out some crazy shit. I mean, we saw, with the Askren, for instance. I mean, I know it was a quick fight. He got that knee. But, I mean, he trained that, and he really, and you can see something like that with Colby. Some just flaw that Colby's unaware of that he could,
maybe he already knows it.
Capitalize on
training with him for years,
Yeah, and I mean, I hear in training Colby usually got the better of him, but I mean, when they did that, I think a big thing going into this fight is the fact that that Masvidal is in welterweight now, because back when they were training and all that stuff, that was when he was in lightweight, and
good point.
And the weight, I mean, that weight matters. I mean,
Masvidal, he looks so big now too. Yeah. Like, it doesn't even look like he could ever make lightweight when you see him nowadays.
No, definitely. So them going into this fight, I mean, it could be very different. Like Masvidal at welterweight could be way better than Colby. I mean, it could be. I don't think that that's true whatsoever. But it could just be, if anything, a more competitive fight for Colby than he thinks is going to be.
Certainly, yeah. I think it'll end up being pretty competitive, at least. Like, I do give Colby the advantage with the wrestling and stuff like that, but I think with the output of Colby and then the wrestling and then Masvidal's he's gonna be trying to get up so much. Like, this is he will not accept position, from this. There's too much bad blood going on. There's no way. It's
for sure.
And I think on the feet, it's just gonna be awesome.
Oh, definitely. It's kind of nice for this fight because there's not really. This isn't a fight that's really going anywhere either. That's kind of like another thing, right? Like, I mean, neither one of the guys is probably gonna get a title shot anytime soon.
Yeah, kind of work your way back up for both guys, right?
Yeah. So this is at least a nice money fight for them.
Yeah. One of the few fights you could headline a pay-per-view with too that isn't a title fight.
Because talking about press conferences, the press conference with these two. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's gonna be insane.
It's gonna be nasty.
It's gonna be insane.
There's gonna be a lot of insults thrown around.
Oh, bro!
If you ain't a fan of shit talking, don't watch this one.
Oh man, it's gonna be great. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun lead up. I agree. I hope they get a good co-main for this. Like the Hazmat Gilbert fight would be perfect for the co-main because they don't have a good co-main yet, and it's like also Nate Poirier would be perfect. I know Nate probably doesn't want to be on Mazardoff's undercard, so that's probably the big hiccup there and why it won't happen. But I still feel like since there is no title fight on here, you got to really stack it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to see. I mean, I would like to see Dustin and Nate fight.
I would too. I really hope, especially with how much back and forth they've been having lately. Like UFC got to get that one done soon.
I would like to see that because it looks like the co-main is going to be Jessica I versus Manon Firot.
See, that's not the co-main. You guys can't co-main a fight with that. They'll get something done. Like, look how quickly they just got Lewis Ty done for the co-main on the next pay-per-view. You know, like that was only made like a week ago, so they got to get something big here. I think it will be Hazmat Gilbert. I think that's the direction they're gonna go with. That'd be my guess.
I mean, except they got Kevin Holland versus Alex Oliveira. I mean, you don't want to say that's a co-main fight.
Yeah, there's some good fights on there thus far. I can't. Here, let me pull up the card.
They have Edson Barboza versus Bryce Mitchell. Now that's
a good fight. See, that could even be the co-main. That would definitely be the co-main.
We haven't seen Bryce back in a minute, so that's his first fight back. That's a tough fight back.
Have you heard his rap album, Sloan?
I haven't heard them. I've heard they're pretty good.
It's something, all right.
They're not too bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it that, but like
I mostly compare all of these guys' rap albums to Tyron Woodley's. Is it better?
I mean anything's better than Tyron Woodley's, but yeah, it's you got Marina Rodriguez on this card as well. Yeah, I mean, it's a good card thus far. It needs the co-main to, like, really hype it up, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Not that the main event's not great, but it needs something there to spruce it up a little bit. The last piece of news, Glover Teixeira will fight Yuri Prochaznik for the light heavyweight title on May 7th, UFC 274. Got confirmed yesterday.
Yeah, that makes sense that fight would happen.
Yeah, it's looking like we're gonna get 2 title fights on this card with this one, and then it's sounding like Charles Oliveira versus Justin Gaethje will also be on this card. And the rumor is it's gonna be in Brazil, which would be great for Brazil. Yeah. You know, Brazil now got 3 champs with Figueiredo winning yesterday. Obviously, they just lost Nunes too, but I wonder if they try to get Figgy on there as well. Like, there's enough time. You could maybe get him, defend his title against someone else real quick.
Yeah, it's interesting that I guess it makes sense that if it's going to be in Brazil, Glover would be the headliner over Charles Oliveira.
They haven't said that yet. I was wondering that myself. Like, I wonder because I do feel like Oliveira Gaethje is the bigger name, right?
I mean, I would say that's the bigger fight.
Yeah.
Than Glover versus Yuri.
I would too, just name-wise. That's also going to be a very exciting fight, so I kind of want that to be the main.
Yeah,
Not that Glover, Yuri isn't. I mean, both those fights are actually fantastic, so yeah.
I mean, Glover's looked amazing.
Yeah, he really
he just has.
But then this Yuri guy, man, he's coming so hot to the UFC. Had 2 crazy... Who did he fight in the debut? Ozdemir. He fought Volkan Ozdemir. Got that crazy overhand right knockout, and then he had fight of the year contender with Dominic Reyes, and then a knockout of the year contender with that spinning elbow. You know?
I mean, this is definitely going to be a tough fight for Glover.
For sure. This is the okay, you beat Jan, but now here's the young prospect that has good amount of experience and has just been on a fucking roll as of late.
100%. So this is gonna be a tough fight for Glover. Like, we'll see how he does. I mean, I got to imagine Yuri's the favorite going into that fight.
I don't know. With how good Glover's looked recently, it'll be close on the lines. I bet.
In my opinion, it probably should be Glover. And the only reason I say it wouldn't be just because of how old he is.
Yeah.
You know, generally people seem to give the older guys a harder time in terms of that kind of thing. But I mean, Glover's looked amazing. I mean, it just
the question I think will be is how good is Yuri's defensive wrestling? You know, because I do think Glover's gonna go for takedowns here and try to lock up a submission. That's what he typically does. I just feel like here, this guy's so wild on the feet that you're gonna want to get him down.
As good as Glover's boxing has been, I would definitely not want to test that with this dude.
Nah, because you don't know what year he's gonna throw.
Yeah,
you know,
you might get smacked with his hair.
He's so that ponytail. I think it's badass. I hope he has. I hope it's even longer now. You know.
I think he's wild, dude. Like, oh my lord.
It's good guillotine defense too. You gotta get around that whole thing.
Man, that's gonna be a fun fight. I'll be excited to see
that.
Fight.
That's gonna be a very fun card. The return, the Brazil pay-per-views are always great. I love. The Brazil versus the world cards are always my favorite, man. I love them when it's just
definitely
a Brazilian versus someone else from a different country on every fight. I love them. They're always my favorite.
I mean, that's what I love about it when Colby, was in Brazil, cut that promo.
The Damian Maia, which was actually a great fight.
Oh man, that was see, that's the kind of shit.
It's such a cool environment too, because everyone's shouting, "You're gonna die," in Portuguese. It's like, oh, this is awesome.
Now you gotta get to your hotel room in an armored car, and like.
Remember when Chael did a press conference with Silva, and they literally had to escort him to the airport. They had to get a bunch of cars and get him there. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's wild. I love when Chael talks about his time in Brazil.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
If you've never seen the press conference with Chael and Anderson Silva for their second fight in Brazil, go watch that because it's magical.
It's amazing.
Chael P, a legend. All right, Sloan, we will preview the events between now and our next show, and then we'll wrap it up here.
Sounds good.
We only got a couple because the next pay-per-view is only 3 weeks away, so next fight on February 5th, that's my birthday too, is Jack Hermanson versus Sean Strickland in your main event there. Good fight here, big fight at middleweight. Sean Strickland been out there on social media a bit too much lately, and people kind of hate him, or not hate him, but like I think we're all seeing how crazy Sean Strickland actually is lately. But I'm here for it. It's hilarious, honestly.
Oh, dude, I'm all into it.
Yeah, I am too.
I know he has. I know like one like interview he had. He was talking about like his like masturbation methods or something like that. Like, this guy's just like he's ridiculous.
Well, he's had like a really like he was. He got in deep with an interview with Ariel where he was like talking about his childhood and stuff, and he had like a really fucked up childhood and stuff. So this guy is just naturally a psychopath.
Well, also like he changed with Michael Bisping. I guess they're friends. So like it's like all right,
Yeah, he is out of that gym in California.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's crazy. I've been really enjoying the Sean Strickland rise. I like his fights too. They're hilarious. I love when he's talking to his opponents in the cage, and his boxing is really fun to watch. So yeah, I'm all in on this main event. I love it.
No, it should be fun. Jack Hermanson, I mean.
Jack Hermanson, he's always a good time. Even on
always a good time.
Jack Hermanson, he is mostly a jiu-jitsu guy, but like he will stand with you on the feet and bang it out. He's not afraid to have a war at all. So yeah, I really like this main event.
I mean, he was on quite the run until he got beat by old Vittori.
Is that who he lost to?
Yeah, he lost to Vittori. Then he just beat Shabazian. That was his last fight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was actually a really good fight too, the Shabazian fight. Yeah, so Jack Hermanson. Who else did he? Yeah, Vittori took it out. Oh, Jared Cannonier. Yeah. So Vittori, I mean, he's up there. He's only lost to the top of the top.
Yeah.
Vittori and Jared Cannonier, top 5 guys. So
I mean, you gotta think ranking wise. I mean, these guys are 6 and 7. So I mean, even like just ranking wise, win or lose, they're not really like, going anywhere too crazy in the rankings. At least
this is a good opportunity for someone to break into the top 5. One of these guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and then
if I'm out of Sonya, in terms of just like money making, fun fight promotion, I probably want Sean Strickland.
Definitely, yeah, that'd be a great title defense down the line. A good one to headline a pay-per-view with, because the build-up would be so fun, and Sean Strickland will go out there and promote it too. So yeah,
no, 100%.
I really like that. Who are you picking? Because I do got Strickland. I think Strickland will get it done. I think he'll defend the takedowns for the most part, and then just outpoint him on the feet.
No, I agree. I'm going Strickland as well.
Yeah, cool.
On that one, I think he's got it, but we'll see. Though I mean, Jack Hermanson is a tough fight. I mean, this will be one of the tougher fights Sean Strickland's had. So we'll see how he does.
Definitely, yeah. getting up there. And then our last fight is just the next pay-per-view then, Sloan. Israel Adesanya will defend his middleweight title against Robert Whittaker in their second meeting at UFC 271 on February 12th.
This fight, there's two things on this fight. One thing took too long for this fight to happen.
It did, yeah.
I mean, Whittaker. I mean, I get he got knocked out. The second round. Almost got knocked out in the first, but ultimately got knocked out was the second, I think. I mean, he's been on a hell of a run. I don't think a champ. I think if they win one fight after they lose, they should get that title shot back.
Especially when you're as good as Whittaker, right?
Yeah.
Like Whittaker literally had to go through all the next contenders.
Exactly,
and it just seemed like UFC was hoping one of these guys would beat Whittaker and then have a good pay-per-view with Izzy. I
don't think they should have done it like that, because honestly, Whittaker, in my opinion, ended up ruining some title fights for Adesanya.
He did, yeah. The Darren Till one would have been huge. The Jared Cannonier one would have been huge. Kelvin Gastelum rematch with Izzy would have been huge. Whittaker took all of that off the plate because he took it
all. Took it all.
Yeah.
So now we're doing this fight. It's gonna be a fun fight. It's gonna be a tougher fight. Like this
I think so too.
Robert Whittaker is not gonna be, because you also got to think when you fight Izzy, like he was coming back off a long layoff, I think, something like that.
Yeah, I think he was off for like a year. Something like that. Yeah, and then Izzy was just red hot going into that first fight. You know, he's coming off the Anderson Silva fight, and then you know that was when we were all super hyped up on Izzy because it was prospect Izzy. It wasn't champion Izzy yet, and now it's kind of died down a bit more.
100%.
And then also you got to think Whittaker has seen Izzy lose now in MMA to Jan. You know, Jan laid a good blueprint for him. You know, a good game plan. You know,
and Whittaker, I mean, you know, for not his wrestling's not bad.
No, it's great actually. I would say it's better than Jan's. You know.
Yeah. And I mean, generally when he takes people down, he keeps them down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to get up from Robert Whittaker when he's on top of you.
It's a tough thing. I think if you go back and look at that first fight too, Whittaker was so aggressive and he was so trying to put the pressure on him, and he was just throwing hands, and it was like that is not the right game plan to go against Izzy with. That's why he got countered so much.
Well, unfortunately, also it's just Whittaker's so long. I mean, not Whittaker. Adesanya's just so long, and he's such a good kickboxer, and it's like tough, just like, you know.
Yeah, you can't play that counter game with him.
Yeah, that was just like one of those things where, like, unfortunately, Whittaker's just size was disadvantageous. Yeah, with that aggressive striking he was trying to do, because I mean, Adesanya just
couldn't even hit him.
Yeah, just couldn't.
And he's got such great head movement too. I love watching Izzy fight, man. I love, he's so elusive.
Izzy's a ton of fun to watch fight. You know, I know some people aren't the biggest fan of him. I enjoy him quite a bit.
I love him. He's great. He's fucking awesome.
He's a lot of fun. This fight's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a tough fight.
I do too. I think this I don't want to get ahead of myself. This could be like a fight of the year contender. I really do think like this one's gonna be great. Like I think Whittaker's gonna come for it, and he's gonna have a really smart game plan. And then obviously Izzy has just been great his entire career. So I think he will continue to be great. And
I agree.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even really know who to say is gonna win this fight either. To be honest,
I don't either. It's kind of a toss up.
It's gonna be a tough fight because I mean Whittaker's he's looked so damn good.
Yeah,
I think all three of his fights were decisions, if I remember correctly. The ones that he won.
Yeah, they were.
But he looked so good. Like he just looked dominant. Like, he just, you know. Yeah, I don't think he really got touched up too bad most of those fights. Like
they were all like great fights, but he clearly won every round. You know, and it's just like this is one of those fights where it's the clear number 1 and number 2 guys of the division. You know, and we don't get these like super often, but it's nice to see.
And I mean, Whittaker's not really a finisher. Like I see, like this fight's either he's gonna get finished or it's gonna go 5 rounds.
When he was coming up for the title, he more so was like he finished Jacare, he finished Derek Brunson, people like that. So But yeah, I mean, once you get to the elite of the division, it's so hard to get those finishes.
I mean, any man that will spend 2 matches with Yoel Romero for 5 rounds each.
Yeah.
is
Wars, dude. I was there. I was in Chicago for their second fight. I was at that fight. Yeah, and that was the greatest fight I've ever seen in person. That room was like, everyone should experience this. Just being in the room for like an absolute war, like that was the fight of the year that year, and that fight was just. It was like electric in that room. Man.
I bet. I've watched both those fights, and I'm just like, these fights are amazing.
They're amazing.
Yeah. They're so amazing.
Y'all, we miss you.
Oh yeah, I do. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun fight. I can't wait.
I can't wait too. And then we obviously talked about the co-main with Derek Lewis and Ty. It's a great card all around, actually. So I'm really looking forward to this one. And only a couple weeks away, so gonna be fun. Gonna be a fun time. And anyways, Sloan, that will do it for this episode of the MMA show. Thank you guys so much for watching.
First one of the year?
Yeah, first pay-per-view of the year down. 12 more to go.
12 more to go?
What they typically do, so can't wait.
Gonna be killing my wallet this year.
Yeah, I know. Oh, that $75 price tag. I had to buy my own last night, and I was just like, oh.
I think it's like 80 after tax or something.
Oh my god, it's too much.
Like,
lower the price. When I first started watching, it was like 55.
Yeah,
it's like 70. It's like $20 more. It's like Jesus.
It sucks because it's like you have to have ESPN Plus, which is like $100 a year.
Yeah,
or whatever.
That I don't mind. I actually think ESPN gives you a good value for that.
They give you a lot, but it was like get ESPN Plus to get a discount on pay-per-views or whatever. Now it's almost pointless.
Yeah, it's just with the pay-per-view things. I would totally do like a $30 a month thing to get every pay-per-view and every fight, something like that. Like I would love if the UFC could put something like that together.
Yeah, that would be kind of nice. I agree with you on that.
I feel like at some point we're gonna have to get away from the pay-per-view model because it's just, I don't know, it's just $75 a month is crazy.
Yeah, because you got to think like how much money that's. I mean, that's like $1,000. What? At least a little over $1,000
for the year, right? Yeah. That's so much. That's why they keep it, right?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Anyway, Sloan, thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to our channel. If you like video games, you can go over there, check that podcast out. If you want to stay away from that nerd shit, I completely understand.
Welcome to the MMA world.
Bitches. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.